The Switch is almost always praised for the amount of solid indie games that it has brought to us throughout the years, and with Red Blue Games' newest game, Sparklite, has this list strengthened, or is it just another game to get lost in the sea of, games that hit the eShop weekly? Well, luckily you have me, Joseph from Switchforce, to help you out. Now quickly, before we jump in, I just want to make it clear that this isn't exactly a review, just more so my first impressions on the first couple of hours in the game. And this is more so just making you guys see whether or not you want to pick it up. Sparklite is a Zelda-esque game with some roguelite elements, think Moonlighter, but with a few changes to the formula. And minus the whole, shop running thing. You play Ada, a girl who travels via ship with her trusty robot partner. For the first 3 minutes of the game, that is. After a bad storm, you fall down to Earth, or Geodia in this case. After quickly earning a big fat L from the first boss, you get rescued and the game opens up. You awaken on a ship that's sort of a haven for the other characters you'll run into, and you learn a bit more about the world. Geodia's land has been rearranging itself. This phenomenon has made it very dangerous to go down due to the nature of everything switching around constantly. And monsters, of course. Your job is to take down the Baron, who is the main villain of the game, who has been using Sparklite, this game's currency, to power his evil titans, machines used to harvest more of the world's energy. You meet more interesting characters and continue to fight tough bosses until you get strong enough to beat the Baron himself. Leveling up in this game is like nothing I've personally seen in this type of game. It's a grid system where you can plop down power-ups if there's space for them. If you have two of the same, you can fuse them together at a cost to gain a higher rarity version of that ability, which will make the ability stronger in every way possible. Managing what abilities you want to take down to Geodia with you before each mission is almost a game in and of itself, because you can constantly change the build of your character. You want to hit hard with lower refresh times? You can do that. You want to be able to see every collectible on the map and every spot of interest on the map? You can do that. Besides that, Ada has access to a few other things. First off is her wrench/hammer, which is so anime and I love it. Weak hits use the wrench, but hold the attack button down and watch her absolutely destroy her enemies with the hammer. You also have a dodge, which gets you out of tough spots with the press of a button. On top of that, you get other cool equipment like a crossbow or a remote-controlled bomb ship. Now with those aforementioned abilities and weapons, you get to keep those, but there are also gadgets, which are abilities you can pick up that have limited usage. These can range from passive buffs to weapons and even health. However, if you die, you lose all of the gadgets on you during that run. Anyway, with all of that in your arsenal, your job is to take down the evil Baron and save Geodia. And that's all you need to know to jump in. So now let's discuss if that's worth doing. First off, let's tackle the roguelike nature of the game. What I will say is that it's very forgiving for a roguelike. Sure, it's tough and you'll die a lot, but it never feels like it's too tough. It's more akin to a normal Zelda-like game than, say, something like Moonlighter. That being said, at the end of the day, it does have a lot of random elements, so if that's not really your thing, make sure to keep that in mind before purchasing. The look of the game is pretty great. It's nothing we haven't seen before, but it's always nice to look at. Animations are clean and areas are just intriguing enough to keep interest. Also, the character designs are absolutely fantastic. They all look great and really bring the world to life. As for the backgrounds, sure, you have your basic grassy area, your deep forest area, so on and so forth, but it never looks bad. Everything is very pretty and exactly what I would like to see in games like this. Sound is also very nice. Never super stood out, but everything matched the visuals perfectly. Where the game really hits its stride, however, is its gameplay loop. Every time I died, I find myself just running right back into it. The controls are super responsive, and the gameplay really gets intense at certain times. And with a game like this, it's super important. Sparklite is a fun game. It has an interesting world with even better gameplay. Now with my first couple of hours in the game, everything has been pretty great. But if there was something that would push me over the edge to highly recommend this game, it would probably be more unique boss fights. So far, I'm only about 2 in, and they were both extremely fun and different, but I do want to know if we are ever going to fight something that isn't the Titans. While the Titans do offer a lot of fun and interesting mechanics on how to beat them, I would like to see more varied boss designs. If I do run into that, then I will say it is a definite get. After playing something like Link's Awakening and wanting more, this game does more than enough to feed my hunger until the next overhead adventure game comes out. If any of this sounds interesting, pick up the game because I guarantee at the very least, you'll have a great time. So thank you, Red Blue Games, for the fun little adventure, and thank you all for watching. I've been Joseph, and until next time, love you all. Switch Force out.